You need to make sure Lyft is being used right now. Nope, of course not. So for those who are watching later on after the live stream, or even about to right now, I just can't see the viewer listing. I do apologize for low light. It is currently 9:06 Eastern Standard Time. So yeah, it's gonna be dark. But hey, that's the nature of the game when you're driving for Uber or Lyft. Why is my dash cam not wanting to work? There we go. Alright, so there's our first run of the night. And of course I noticed that my filter set to accept surges automatically, so that's wonderful. And of course my navigation is not wanting to work. Is that? Even my music's wanting to cut out. Yeah, it's funny, I don't have a whole lot on the phone running right now, so I don't know why it's wanting to be stupid today. See, it starts up and then it just wants to quit. Oh, maybe, maybe, maybe. Oh, if I could show you guys what I'm looking at now, there's a really nice car right in front of me. I want to say it's either a Ford or a Chevy, but I honestly am not sure. I need to go to the left. I can't even open the app. At least I kind of have navigation with on the app itself, so I mean that's nice. Both Uber and Lyft have a navigation thing set up, so that way in-app they will actually update and change. All very seamless. It's just my thing is because I'm driving in areas I'm not familiar with, I don't know the speed limits, and I don't want to get pulled over for doing something stupid. So after we drop off this person, whoever we're picking up, I'll switch over to the regular default apps and just go from there. All part of the game. You gotta compromise. I don't know if you could see me being a total goofball just now, but yeah, that's me. Just a normal average age Joe that doesn't know what he's doing half the time and just makes it up as he goes along. Can't complain. It's more fun that way. Mulhauser. And of course, Waze is still not wanting to work. I think it's because of the stream itself. Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Not too bad. What's your name, ma'am?
Heather.
Oh, okay.
We're just going over here to Jags, so you don't have to take us very far.
Nah, I'm okay with that. Let's see here. So I need to go right. Okay. My navigation preference is being stupid right now. You normally use Waze.
Oh, yeah, I
But
love Waze.
It's not wanting to work for whatever reason, so I have to use the almost barbaric navigation that Uber has whenever you don't use its navigation.
Ah,
I like the lights in the car.
Hey, thank you.
I like that.
right now, right?
Can I not go out this way?
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Okay,
can. It was,
there it is.
because we came in this way.
I was gonna
look at
say.
all the drunk college kids
Oh,
out here
they're-
sitting on the ground.
A couple of them in there were so shit-faced. I'm like, oh boy.
There's some
A sorority
sorority
party.
formal there.
Oh boy.
They're tying one on tonight.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not in college, don't plan on going for a while, and just that sort of thing has never piqued my interest.
What really is bad is the next day.
Oh yeah.
It's like, oh my god.
Unless you know how to take care of yourself while you're drinking and then after you start drinking.
Right. Gotta drink water with it.
Yes.
Yes.
Gotta stay hydrated. Otherwise, you're just,
True.
yeah, it's a bad day.
It's just like a horrible feeling. It's like, I don't know, like, I mean, I've been drunk, but you're just like, I don't know. I hate not having the control.
You've been drunk?
Yes.
Yeah.
Kidding.
I'm taking it you've never been drunk, Heather.
Oh, yeah.
I beg to differ, sir.
Let's see, you actually want to go right. You do not want to go left to Jags.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will have to say, we went out.
Actually, you know what you want to do is go straight.
Okay.
Because you can't turn left. Yeah. Sorry, not to tell you where to go.
No. Like I said, like my navigation's kind of shot right now,
Yeah.
so yeah.
You should
You
ask her.
actually want to go to the left here.
Okay.
You're going to come around by the library. It's the easiest way to get through. So, I like drive for a living. I'm a visiting nurse, so I know like every road everywhere.
Hey, that's good. I mean, you gotta know pretty much where you're going for the most part. I mean, otherwise, life does get more interesting,
Yeah.
but yeah, one of those.
Yeah, you should ask her about our trip.
No, we are
downtown
not
in
talking
December.
about
Oh,
that.
okay.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm not saying I've never been drunk. I know how to tie one on and have a good time. Keep going straight.
Okay.
This is always confusing back here.
You don't know this route?
No, I do, but it's just like there's so many. and
It's so
crannies.
nice and warm in here. Thank you. I chilled to death in the restaurant.
Hey, no problem. Yeah, no.
This is going to wide you around and take you across the little bridge.
Okay.
And then you're going to turn right.
Okay.
So how long are you going to be out driving tonight?
Probably up until like 3 in the morning. I am normally a late night worker anyway. I work third shift at a factory.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So 8 a.m. or 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. So
So you're a night owl.
yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much.
Well, you might be able to take us home.
Yeah.
I
We Uber
mean,
down to the restaurant, and then we're Ubering over to Jags, and then we're going to Uber home later.
at least
Yeah.
you're Ubering, because like some people insist on driving even though they're plastered. It's
Yep.
like, what are you doing?
Oh, no. Well, I convinced him to Uber. I was
Well,
like, come on, let's
yeah.
just Uber. He's never Ubered before. I'm like,
Whoa,
oh my gosh, how can you not
what?
have Ubered?
And you know what's funny is, like, I'm a firefighter and I see the stupid shit people do drunk, and I'm like, there's really no reason anyone should ever drive drunk anymore.
There really
With
isn't.
Uber and Lyft and all this stuff, it's like, it's just crazy. And one of my friends who's a cop told me, he said the average DUI, first time DUI out of pocket, between $7,000 and $10,000.
You're going to turn left at this light.
Okay. I mean, at that point, you can just. Oh wait, there's Jags right there.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, $7,000 to $10,000 just between court costs and fines and all this other stuff, and I'm like, it's totally not worth it.
You might as well at that point just get an Uber to Las Vegas.
Exactly. So it's just totally not worth it.
Into this little driveway over here.
Yep, you just turn left in here at the Staybridge Suites.
See, I tend to be the mature one to have to watch her, but
Hey now.
no, she's a sweetheart.
I know, hey, you know, when I come to Jags and I drink, I Uber.
And you look damn good tonight too, by the way.
Oh my God, he does very good. He likes to embarrass me.
No, I'm being serious. You look beautiful.
There's nothing wrong with being serious.
Compliment your girl. What's wrong with that?
Oh,
Exactly.
nothing.
Well, you have to have a girl, like in my situation, but that's
Oh.
besides the point. But thank you for what you
Thank
do.
very much.
Hey,
Well, maybe you can pick
you
us
as
up
well.
later.
Yeah.
All right, have
Nice
a great
meeting ya.
night.
Nice meeting you guys. Get out of that little spot here. And that, in a nutshell, is, well, whenever you drive. Okay. Alright, let me fix Maestro real quick, because I want to be able to accept any ride that I can get at this point. It's not surging a whole lot right now. Here we go. And that, ladies and gents, is a Uber run. Really nothing special, just gotta learn to be nice to people, that's all it is. I'm not saying it's for everyone either. Some people, they can't do it, but at the same time as well. I mean, it's really not that bad of a gig. You just gotta know what to do, what not to do, like any other job. And there are inherent risks with everything that you do. And you can't go into a new situation and fear the risks. Because at that point, you're just gonna live in a clamshell without the pearl. Like, there's nothing good about it. Gotta keep moving forward. So here we go. I got one on Lyft. Now my navigation wants to work. I think also, going back to what I was saying earlier about just getting into Uber or Lyft, the hardest thing to get used to is the fact that you are going to be driving strangers around. Just think of it like this: you are picking up a buddy of yours from a bar or from wherever and taking him somewhere. Now, don't be outright calling him names or whatever like you would your best friend. Like, come on, we all do that. You wanna have some respect. Just know what to do. I mean, if anybody's been in customer service, they know what to do, what not to do. I mean, let's be honest. Basic customer service. Even if you don't have experience in customer service, the general consensus is, treat me well, I'll treat you well. And of course, I need to be in this lane. For once, I'm actually heading north, not south. Let's see how long that lasts. It's always nice when you're getting passed up by a Prius and you're in an engine that's a lot bigger than a Prius. Because you got people like in front of me that just don't know how to drive and think that the speed limit's 60, not freaking 65. Also, if you have any young kids watching, I myself will try to keep my language down to a minimum, if non-existent. Bad language, I should say. I can't control other people, so just keep that in mind whenever you are watching. The goal right now is just to have fun. I mean, who gets to drive around, especially driving new people around like almost every minute that you can think of, and have fun while doing it and make money? It's not a full-time gig. You got to keep that in mind, because like whenever you go into any other job, taxes are taken out, and there's more of a reliability when it comes to most other jobs. even pizza delivery. You go into a place, you clock in, you are getting an hourly wage. I get paid by doing this by the job. So that one little trip right there probably gave me like $3. I haven't been able to check. I was actually over here earlier. The grand waiting game of stoplights.
You have an You have an in-call.
All right, bear with me. I'm about to pull up on you right now. Let me see here. Are you mall? Okay, so there is one spot that I can pick you up at. Let me get there real quick and let you know where that is. So bear with me here. Okay, I think that's where you need to be, but I'm not sure. So bear with me while I get to the spot real quick. You know where Dillard's is? Okay, because that's the closest place I'm at right now. I'm actually in Park or P1 or the parking lot 1, the Wisman Garage. Well, I'm right next to the Cheesecake Factory, but like I'm closest to Dick's Sporting Goods. Are you outside or are you Okay, I'll meet you at the Cheesecake Factory. All right, I'll see you in a little bit. All right, bye.
Call ended.
If anybody's watching, please bear with me as the video quality improves. Okay. Hello. Yeah, I am as well. Whereabout are you? Like compared to the Cheesecake Factory? I'm like right in front of the building. Like there's a flagpole right in front of me, the corner of Tyler's Place and Foundry. Or I'm sorry, Blake Street and Tyler's Place. Yes. Make sure to double check the license plate. I think I see you actually. All right.
All ended.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, no, your location was on the other side of the building.
Other side.
Yeah. Are we still going to Chester Road?
Yeah.
Okay. How we doing?
I'm good, just a little bit cold because I didn't dress for this weather, so.
Hey, it's alright. I got the heat on for you. Uh-huh. Left or right?
Yeah, just right here. You can pull up right here.
Okay, give
And
me
then the check-in space.
Alright, just be careful, get it on over there, and you're all set.
And thank you so much.
Hey.
And you have a good night.
Hey, no problem. Thank you. Interesting picture. So that is one of the silent treatment rides you have to give sometimes. Someone's on the phone, obviously you don't talk over them, just drive. Famous flashing lights. Either the flashing red, which of course would just mean a stop sign, or the flashing yellow. Caution, be careful going through. What baffles me is that people still consider a flashing yellow a flashing red, a stop sign. So let's say if you're at a four-way stop or a four-way intersection and you have the flashing yellow, but you stop, even though the ones that are waiting on you to go through, they're supposed to. And you just sit there and not do anything, and it baffles me how anybody was able to get their driver's license if they can't understand that a flashing yellow means you don't have to stop. In fact, you don't stop. You just be careful going through. The only time you would not go through is if an emergency vehicle was coming through the intersection or coming towards you. You obviously pull over if you can, or just sit where you are. Make sure they have the right of way. Saw that firsthand back in the place that you live in. Power went out and there was a flashing red and a flashing yellow while I'd be delivering pizza, and people would stop at the flashing yellow, and I'm like, I'm going probably 50 miles an hour. I see they're stopping. I'm like, what are you doing? Are you trying to turn or what? No, they're treating it like a stop sign. You don't do that. That's what causes accidents. It's mind-boggling. Another thing that makes you wonder as well, makes me wonder, when people come up to an intersection, they're trying to turn right or left, mainly right, and they come to a complete stop or a slow-moving pace, then make the turn, when you got a line of cars behind you, especially going highway speeds, like, let's say 50, 60 miles an hour. That causes accidents as well. There's no point, unless the driveway you're going onto has a really big curb where if you were to go at, like, say 20 or 30 miles an hour, then yeah, I can understand you don't want to bottom out your car, because that sucks. You run the risk of damaging brake lines, tires, your exhaust system, and if you're really unlucky, transmission and engine. Mainly your transmission, your engine, unless of course you're driving the mid-size or mid-engine vehicles, you don't have to worry too much about your engine. All in all, I mean, you can be driving a vehicle as well that's lifted, and then at that point, just you got to worry about not launching into the air. It would make for a good video though. Leave a like if you think I should get some LEDs, infrared LEDs, just to illuminate my face while at night. Found some on Amazon that you just hook straight into the earplugs or your earphones, and that's how they get power. And you swivel around, there's like a bracket that like a little, it's kind of like a holder that holds the LEDs, and you just move it around and it stays where it needs to be and whatnot, and you can have it facing any direction. Something I was thinking about doing, just never got around to doing it. I think they're like maybe $7, $8 on Amazon. Alright. So it looks like our next rider is at this Mexican place. Can't go wrong with Mexican food at all. Unless you just don't like Mexican food, then I'm gonna ask, like, what's wrong with you? Mexican food's awesome. But each one to their own. Tap to arrive. I have arrived. The door is right there. Oh boy. Hey, how's it going? Alright, does he have a booster or a car seat with you guys? Does he have a booster or car seat?
Nah, he 8 years old.
You have to be a certain weight and height to be able to ride in a vehicle without a booster or car seat. You don't have one, I can't give you guys a ride.
What? Look it up. Show me right now.
I don't have to, I've got it memorized. No.
What is it?
You have to be like, I think it's like 80 pounds or something like that, but you have to be a certain height as well, and that's the most important thing.
How can you tell? Where's your tape measure?
I measure the edge of my car, and I have to be over a certain height to be able to ride in a vehicle.
Really, sir? This place is closed.
Okay.
And we live 5 minutes around the corner.
Okay.
My son rides with me all the time. You're literally the first person who's ever mentioned anything about a booster seat. Seriously.
Are you willing to pay for a ticket?
Yeah.
Really?
If you get one, I'll pay it. I sure will. Mm-hmm.
Are you willing for me to call CPS for child endangerment?
Go ahead. Call CPS for child endangerment.
Well, here's the thing. I'm not going to drive anywhere.
Fucking racist.
There's no racist thing about it.
You'll come across people like this all your life. You just have to walk away. Piece of shit.
Huh. Nothing racist about it. Go around the corner because frankly it's about time that I just wait a little bit. So that is one of the ugly sides of rideshare. You will be called names for following the law. All you gotta do is just stand fast to your beliefs because you really can't afford the ticket. You really cannot afford a lawsuit, and if anything were to happen, it's on you. Picking up Jesus. Okay. We're picking up, Jesus? Just call him Jesus. There's only one Jesus. Even if the person is white, black, green, purple, blue. Actually, I take that back. If you're blue, then something's wrong with you. Purple, I have to worry about your blood and whatnot. And if you're green, you're probably sick. So black or white, Asian, whatever race, if you're not following the law, but you're asking me to break it, at that point, I say no. You got to learn to say, hey, no, I'm sorry, this is not what's going to happen. 5 minutes or not, there is no reason to break the law, especially when it comes to a child, or any time. We may get some underage kids that might try getting a ride, and if that happens, well, I have to turn away again because Uber and Lyft explicitly say you have to be over 18. It's in the terms of service. It's in the agreement that you guys signed as well as I signed when I signed up for the service. Hello. Not too bad. What's going on, guys?
I'm just trying to get to the movies real fast.
Okay. Before we get started, though, I need to see one of your IDs real quick. You guys look a little underage, and I have to double check. Expiration date of birth, 98. Okay. From Indiana?
Kentucky.
Oh, Kentucky. So what movie are you guys going to see?
Black Panther.
Black Panther? Wow. I'm jealous.
You know, everyone's talking about it. I've never seen it.
I know, like, it's been one of those things, like, for me personally, I haven't been able to go to a movie theater in a minute, so it's like, well, what do I do? Do I go or just go? All right. You guys ready for Infinity War?
Oh my god, yeah.
Did you hear they pushed back the release date for it too? Yeah, it's April 27th, which ironically is my birthday. So, yeah, like I know what I'm doing on my birthday. Oh man, just thinking about it gets me all giddy. I mean, we've been waiting for this, like, I don't know how long
I
now.
don't think I'm ready to see Captain America go.
I don't know. They said Captain America was going to go, and Civil War, they said Iron Man was going to go, and I'm like, you know, I really don't know.
But Chris Evans is
I kind of take those with a grain of salt because everybody says, like, their contract is about to expire, and it really just creates a tension.
yeah.
Like, you don't know until you see in the movie.
That's true.
So, I'm ready, just in case.
Yeah.
And if he dies a hero, because, quite frankly,
True.
So, are you guys Team Iron Man or Team Captain America?
I think I'm like more team. I don't know.
I don't have it.
Well, I was like Team Captain America, but then like, I don't know, Iron Man has his point too. Iron Man's like so stubborn.
Yeah. See, I was in the army for like a month or something like that, so I can see exactly where Captain America is coming
Right.
from. And
Yeah, with the loyalty.
loyalty is a very big thing in everything I do anyway. Like even before the military. And, oh, AMC. Give me 1 second here. That truck looked like it needed some space. But, so immediately in my mind, once I figured out the whole issue between Iron Man and Captain America, even just the comic book version, I'm like, I'm with Captain America on this.
Oh, yeah.
And then in the movie, when it got into who watches the Watchers type of thing, and then like whose decision is it,
Yeah.
that made up my mind.
Right. Like always Team Captain America.
Yeah. And I've always been a big fan of Iron Man too, so
I know.
it's like, what do you do?
It should be good.
I gotta pull Elise off the road a little bit. Alright, guys.
Okay, thank you.
Not a problem.
Have a good night.
You as well. Oh, there's a surge right next to us. Oh, that's a healthy surge too. Oh. Well then. I guess no surges for now. It does kind of make me sad how that lady immediately pulled a race card and then was telling her kid that she's going to be dealing with a lot of people like that, when in reality there was nothing about race. Like I said earlier, it's all about the law. And if it means that you are going to try to disobey the law, break it, yeah. Oh, mind-boggling. And I was serious about calling CPS. Like, you're willing to put your child in danger for a 5-minute ride? No. At no point is someone's life more valuable than money. No point. Well, time to move on. hoping I get a trip down to downtown Cincinnati. Avoid all this crap about short trips with no surge or prime time or whatever platform you're on. So other than the occasional turn away that you may have to do if you guys are interested in driving for either Uber or Lyft, or even both, if you look down in the description, I have a promo code. Right now, Lyft has a $50 bonus, as well as Uber. Of course, I'll get a little something too, but that's just to get the word out. It's an incentive for both of us. All you need for Uber and Lyft, I believe, is a 2003 and newer car. 4 doors. Or if you just want to deliver with Uber Eats, you can use the same code. You have to be 18 years old just to drive with Uber Eats. If you want to drive for Uber itself, you have to be 21. Pretty clean driving history. There is a background check that is done.
Hello?
Call ended.
What?
It.
Did you just call me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm like,
Sorry.
it's alright. You can sit wherever.
Wrong handle, I'm sorry.
No, you can sit wherever.
My bad.
No, it's all good. Before we get started, though, I need to see your ID real quick.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
No problem.
More of an age verification
Yeah.
thing. 95, okay.
So,
Yeah, I know you were asking me something, and then I just disconnected. I'm like, okay. And I tried calling you back, and
yeah,
then
my phone died like right as I was like right when I went to the middle of saying what I was gonna say.
ah,
Because on my app, I guess it was being weird or something, but it said that you I don't know. It just did some weird stuff.
huh.
Hey, see, it was saying that you were going away from.
That's weird. Well, I mean, probably because I missed that first turn, but I wasn't sure if I needed to go to McDonald's or what. It's all good. Thank you. Spared no expense. Tried to have some fun while I was doing this. I don't know. It's a 2012. Still working on getting a car.
Yes, sir.
What kind of car are you thinking of getting?
No, I'm gonna go for something smaller.
Like a Ford Focus?
I mean, Focus would be okay. Actually, something smaller than that. I'm looking at my other. I either want to get a Mini, a Kia Soul, just a good car with great fuel efficiency. Just a cruise.
I was gonna say this thing gets about 36.
Exactly.
Combined probably like 34 or something like that. It's no hybrid, but manual transmission.
Exactly.
Like right now I'm averaging 34.4.
That's not bad.
Oh no. And most of that was just driving 15 minutes a day, like
Right.
to and from work.
So that's even including like.
City driving, yeah. Even like whenever I go down to Cincinnati, my mileage is still pretty good.
That's crazy.
I don't do anything too crazy when it comes to like accelerations. Probably back there is the craziest.
Right.
And I was going like 2 over.
Right. But I mean, just trying to pass the people that were going ridiculously slow.
Yeah. That's another thing too. Whenever you get a manual transmission, you can have that instant power.
That is one thing I do like about manual transmissions. Plus, it gives you something to do with your other hand.
Exactly. You have to pay attention while you're driving, unless you're doing like highway driving.
Right.
Then it's just like driving in automatic at that point. But like in inner city and all that, you got to make sure like you're not going to stall or anything like that.
Right. I don't know. What do you even go over third when you're driving through the city?
Depending on the situation. Because this has 6 gears in the gearbox, I generally think of like if I'm going about 30 to like 37-ish, I drop it down to 4th. Like right now I'm going 33.
Right.
My RPMs are just about to breach over 2,000 RPM.
Sure.
And at this point, 5th gear. It's all about keeping those RPMs low.
Right.
Even when they're a little high too, the engine evens out to where you're still getting great gas mileage.
That's the only thing I've never understood about
Well, think of it like this. When your car goes below, you know, like 600 RPM, right?
Yeah.
So if it goes below that, your car will stall. When the car stalls, it just turns off. So if you leave it in gear, like say if I'm in a stand, like this light turns red, I put it in first but release the clutch,
Yeah.
then it will stall.
Right.
Or if I put it into sixth right now and go maybe 20 miles an hour, it's going to stall because not enough power is going through the engine or the transmission to the engine.
Okay.
It's all about keeping the power consistent. I take it you're still looking into which transmission you want to get as well. Like, have you ever driven?
Okay with the V4 to be honest, but the V6.
V6, you got to deal with more. It's not going to be as easy on gas. Even 4-cylinders, you got to watch out because this is a 1.4.
Yeah.
You get 1.4, 1.6, 1.8. I think it's like 2, then 2.4 or something like that. Once you get above, I think it's 1.8, your gas tank gets bigger because your actual fuel efficiency goes down as well, so they want to make sure you can still at least go 300 miles.
Right.
I at least go, like I don't let it go below a quarter of a tank, so I at least go 350 miles before I fill up.
Yeah.
Like since I filled up, I'm at 260.
What engine is this?
1.4.
1.4.
Has a turbocharge in it.
Gotcha.
It's factory. Like when I first got it, I didn't realize it had a turbo until my grandfather drove in. He's like, "Hey Andrew, this thing has a turbo," and I'm like, "What? It what?" Because I didn't think factories,
Right.
like coming factory, it would have that because it's such an aftermarket thought product.
Right.
I mean, it's not a very big turbo, but it definitely does the job.
Right.
That's another thing that comes with fuel efficiency. And then, of course, you get the extra power.
Right.
They're not that expensive either. I mean, this thing does have almost 120,000 miles, like 118,000.
Right.
But it's still the resale value on it. If I clean it up a little bit, I'm looking at like 6,000, 5,000 buyback. And then when I got it, it had 36,000, so it was like around $10,000, which is understandable.
Yeah.
It's fairly new. It's only a 2012.
Exactly.
So the previous owner babied the thing. I mean, I babied it too, but it's definitely seen its fair share of miles.
Right.
I've been to Louisville and
Like
back.
any car.
Yeah. I've been to West Virginia and back. Been to Louisville, Kentucky and back. I think like the farthest I've driven in one way was probably like 2.5, 3 hours. In fact, at the end of the year, with some vacation money built up, I'm planning on driving down to Myrtle Beach. That'll be the farthest I've ever driven non-stop. Well, not non-stop, but distance-wise.
Yeah, distance-wise, the furthest I've ever drove was last summer, so my family.
Ooh.
Yeah, getting there took us like 16, 17 hours.
Shit.
On the way back, I left from my dad's house, which is in Shreveport, Louisiana, so like the tip top.
Yeah.
So it only took us like 12, 13 to get back, and that's including like stops. But I only stopped 3 times for gas, which was shocking to me that
That's pretty good.
right. I mean, each way was over 1,000 miles. So.
Right. So the way I figured, like going to Myrtle Beach, it's like roughly, I want to say probably 900 miles, but I cannot remember to save my life. So I actually mapped it out, looked at the miles and calculated how many times I would have to
It's
refill.
gonna be around something like that because my sister lives near there. Like 3 hours away from here would be like
120 miles.
yeah. It's like a good 10 hours. A 10-hour drive.
Yeah.
Not too bad.
9-hour drive or something like that. My family usually stops like halfway there at a hotel. Me personally, I would want to get there as soon as possible.
The only reason it took us so long to get there, like driving there, I had to stop and take a nap twice.
Yeah.
Because I just closed at work, and we got our stuff together, and then we left. So I'd already been up since like 7 o'clock that morning.
See, I already got it in my head, like how much I would have to save up just for, like, of course, gas, food, and then,
Miscellaneous.
yeah, like souvenirs. Like,
Right.
quite frankly, I'm a big fan of like cowboy hat type of things, like something you wear to the beach. So that's what, $12. And then there's like the movie theater, there's of course the beach, so you got to get some stuff for the beach. Boogie boards. and then of course, since I'm 24 myself, I'm gonna want to drink,
Right.
especially going to Margaritaville. Oh man, I've been there twice. Never got to drink. Obviously, I was a little younger. Now I can go there and be like, I'm definitely gonna have a margarita.
Right. It's only right. Like, you can't go there.
Yeah. In fact, more than likely during the day, I will be drinking my day away. Like, it's vacation time.
Right. You're supposed to have fun. That's
Yeah.
That is definitely some good downtime. Are you single?
I am.
So you're going by yourself?
No, I'll be going with my family.
Okay.
So my mother, stepdad, and my youngest brother, probably the second youngest brother. I'm the oldest.
Gotcha.
Both my grandparents.
Oh.
They went last year. At least the stepfather, my mom, my baby brother, my grandparents, they all went together. I was going to go, but...
It's right behind this car.
Okay. Right before I lost my job, so I couldn't...
Gotcha.
For obvious reasons, I could not go there and whatnot and be comfortable. I would have to be begging for cash or just riding along with someone. Well, sir, you have a good one.
You too. And it's nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you.
Right. I would definitely try to give you a good tip.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank
No
you.
problem.
Oh, phone.
Have a good night.
You as well. Uh-huh. So as we're heading to this next fair, I wanted to give you guys a little bit of the thought process that I have. So, because it is Friday night and be needing rides or whatnot, surges are going to be going crazy. I'm definitely going down to Cincinnati. I'm thinking in a little bit I am going to end the stream and pick it back up. Oh, there goes my quality. Wait till it comes back again. For those that are watching, please be patient as my service improves. I apologize. It may come back. If you guys can hear me, okay, there's my quality back. Sweet. So what I was saying was, in a little bit I may actually end the stream and pick it up again once, or right before bar closings. Gives me time to head down to Cincinnati, fill up my gas tank, grab a couple monsters, keep going. Probably for another hour or 2 hours maybe. Not exactly sure when exactly I'll be going online. Turn off your brights. Might be a cop up here somewhere now, come to think of it. But we'll finish this ride out, see what happens. If we end up in Cincinnati, I'll keep going. You guys will just have to deal with me filling out my gas tank, as boring as it would be. Hope you guys are somewhat as entertained as I am as I'm doing this. I mean, I can understand the downtime can be frustrating, and certainly, yeah, it certainly is frustrating, especially when you're just trying to stay busy. And all you can do is just wait, or at least figure out your next game plan, like, okay, I need to go here because X, Y, and Z. Something I do need to check, though. Okay. Leave a like for an idea of doing Uber or Lyft on a motorcycle. I'm sorry, I can only pick up one person at a time. Well, what kind of vehicle are you driving? Harley Davidson something something? Which is not possible. You gotta actually have a car. Can you imagine the reaction some people would have when their Uber is driving a motorcycle? Hell, I'd still want to ride. If it was a chick. If it was a guy, probably not. gas seems to be going higher and higher as I go along, like Jiminy Christmas. $2.54. Like, I could have sworn it was like 2:01 yesterday. Probably was. Gotta love Ohio. First, you got the bipolar weather that either can't decide whether or not it's winter or spring or fall or whatever. Even though I know we're technically still in winter, there isn't any snow on the ground as of yet. God forbid. I actually witnessed one day, I was in high school, and we were under a tornado warning in the morning, and it literally went from a tornado warning to a winter storm warning later that night. Like, that's going through all, like, a spectrum of seasons right there. Personally, never, well, I take that back. I'm not sure if I have survived a tornado. I think I have when I was younger. It was definitely a scary experience. And when I say lived through it, I mean like I've witnessed or encountered the destruction, as in like my personal effects were damaged or a neighbor's was damaged, something along those lines. I was definitely in the middle of a couple storms that did produce a tornado. I was out driving one time delivering pizza, and we had a tornado warning, and I was very luckily on the other side of town where it touched down. Still in the delivery zone. There's nothing that prepares you for stuff like that. And give props to tornado chasers because, well, they have the balls to do what needs to be done. I'm guessing they're at Steak and Shake. Hey, how's it going? Not too bad. What's your name, sir?
What?
What's your name, sir?
My mind.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm waiting on you.
Underneath your left leg.
Ah, shit. You wasn't even that far, was you?
Like 10 to 15 minutes. You could put that in the back if you want to. Okay. All right. We still going to Daly?
Yeah, Daly Road. Yeah, 8823 Daly Road.
Okay.
You was like a 10 minutes. Yeah, you wasn't that far at all. You
No.
been out all night?
No, like maybe a couple hours.
Okay. We had to close. We had to close the store down.
Why? What happened?
Got no workers.
Not enough workers?
Yeah. Supposed to be hiring people, but they ain't made any effort to do it yet, so.
I can't imagine. Really? I can only turn left? Oh no, I can't turn right. Okay.
So you drive Uber and Lyft?
Yeah.
Which one you like better? Lyft?
Probably probably Uber. I haven't had a whole lot of Lyft rides.
I'm say Lyft keep them busy though.
I find Lyft has been literally like really sparse. Like normally I get like 20-30 minute runs to pick up somebody. Like for once, like tonight, this is like my 4th ride on Lyft in a row. That doesn't happen.
But that's Friday night, you're gonna get a lot of more rides.
even on Friday night, I find that it doesn't keep up. It's kind of aggravating. And then, of course, there's Uber, and that people use it a lot.
Yeah, but I heard Uber losing a lot of their drivers too, though.
Depending on the situation.
Yeah, they said.
I don't know, Lyft, they're doing some things I wish they would do like Uber. Like, if we have to drive a long distance to pick you up, like, Uber will actually compensate after 13 minutes. So you start getting paid time and distance. Lyft, you don't. And that's a pretty big game changer for us drivers, because for us to drive 20-30 minutes to come pick you up, only to find out we're only going to make like $3, it's a waste of money. Waste of gas, I should say. And we don't get paid by the hour, so whatever job that we do,
Get paid by the ride.
yeah, paid by the job. Oh, definitely until after the bars close. I'm a night owl, so I might be up until like 6 in the morning. Well, my normal job, I work 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. So, yeah, 12-hour shifts.
Where's that at?
It's at a factory over in Monroe.
What they do there?
We make windowsills, or the frames.
Everybody safety glasses still tough and all that.
Ear protection. I wear these glasses because they're the same ones I got in basic training, so they're meant to withstand basic. I figured they can withstand everything else. Just wear those side shields. Then ear protection, steel toe, normal stuff.
They make window sills for cars.
For who?
For cars.
Oh no, for houses. We sell them by the bulk, like 16-foot long pieces.
You work from 8 a.m.
8 p.m. to 8 a.m.
8 p.m. to 8 a.m. They got a shift from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Yeah.
They got 2 shifts. So you work like 3, work 3, off 3.
Work 2, off 2. Like sometimes you work the weekend, so like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So like this week, I worked, what is it? I was off, well, I worked Sunday this week, so off Monday, Tuesday. Then I work Wednesday, Thursday, off Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But I signed up for overtime tomorrow, so I'm gonna get, yeah, overtime pay, which is like 28 something an hour.
So you going over 8 to 8 tomorrow?
Yeah. But they've got 2 shifts per, like, you got first and third shift you work during the day, and then second and fourth that work during the night. And I'll just be jumping on to crew 2 or shift 2.
They go do a temporary service.
They don't. I don't think so. It's really not that difficult of a job either. Like you start out packing the parts on a cart for 12 hours. The hardest part is standing up. Like you have to make sure you got the right number of parts on a cart. Really about it.
What's the norm to pay that norm to start your outfit though?
Do what?
What's the pay that norm to start your outfit though? Like
The hourly pay?
Yeah.
They start out at 16, but then they give you, well, here's where it gets really cool. They give you a sheet where you choose what kind of like perks you get. Like if you want to get paid for holidays or vacation time, you take off or you add like a certain number or whatever, like $1.50. And right now, I'm only taking holiday and vacation pay. All the other ones like reimbursed for shoes. I forget what else. But I'm getting paid like $18.50 an hour. That's regular pay.
That's what's up. They're on a point system too, ain't they?
There is a point system.
I kind of figured it was. How many points y'all got to get for y'all get fired?
Like when you first start out,
Yeah.
or first start out, it's like a 1.5 or something like that.
So how many points you're supposed to get out together?
Like, what do you mean?
So like, what's the point? Like, sometimes you get like 6 points, you fire. Sometimes you get like.
I don't know. They actually revamped it for people that have been there a while. But I know, like, for me personally, I only have a 1.5 to play with.
So you can't get no more.
Like, normally, like, if you call off for one entire shift, that's a point. If you call off for, like, you're late, and you call in and say, hey, I'll be in, like, after lunch, so you work the 6 hours, that's half a point. It's actually really nice because if you work hard and then you got other people that don't want to work, and then they just either leave early or don't come in at all or whatever, the breathing room that they have is so minimum that they're fired, they're gone. Weed out the bad people, keep the good people.
Yeah, because I work at this place over in Shermanville, Kimber Monstella Road.
Mm-hmm.
It's called American Food Group.
Mm-hmm.
We on a point system on the 12 we had 12 point system. You can't be late, none of that.
Yeah, I know. And I know my work, they will understand extreme situations. Like, say, if when we were dealing with snow or whatever, if the factory is not under a snow emergency, but where you live is, where you can't even leave or get in your car and drive, you just gotta call in, explain what's going on. They won't point you. They'll tell you to stay home. My factory is, it's very, they're understanding, but they're strict at the same time. They're not gonna be like completely by the book, like, oh, even though you can't drive, you're legally allowed to drive because of snow, we still want you to come in. No.
Right. To be honest, they pretty much understand that.
Oh, very understanding.
How long you been at the job for? A while?
Almost 2 months.
2 months. Oh, okay.
No complaints. They're actually already talking about teaching me new stuff and eventually bumping me up position-wise.
What they talking about putting you to supervisor?
No, hell no. I would not want to be a supervisor. You gotta deal with so much drama and petty stuff. Like, my supervisor now, he just became a supervisor, and I give him props for what he does. What are you doing? Yeah, I know you're driving a Camaro, but you don't have to drive that slow.
So you give him props for what he do?
Yeah. What is this guy doing?
What they talking about bumping you up to?
Probably specialist, but I don't know for sure. It's something I heard. It may not even happen, but I'm not too worried about it. I get paid $500 a week at least. I'm not complaining.
Is it a union?
Do what?
Union job?
No. Which I used to work at Kroger, and that's unionized. There were just so many things that I saw that I did not agree with because it was unionized. So I'm not a big fan.
My job's a union.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of unions. Just because of the atmosphere it creates. Like, I get if someone's been there a while, but when they're completely wrong about something because they're so set in their ways, then you have to listen to them or else you get written up. While I was at Kroger, my department manager told me to do this thing where it would basically screw over the customer in Lebanon. But they wanted me to screw over the customer. I told them flat out no. It is our policy to make sure we make it right. And we did, it was in click list, so we would price match depending on situations or whatever. Well, it was what the customer was wanting wasn't perfect, reasonable standards for a price match. So I'm like, all right, well, I'll do that real quick. Give me 1 second. I go inside the building and the manager's like, no, we can't do that. They've got what they need. I'm like, we shorted them. We need to compensate. And they're like, no, we got to just give it to them. I'm like, you're kidding, right? And because I said that, they tried to write me up, and I told them I'm not signing anything until I personally write on there what is written on this write-up is incorrect. They didn't like that. The manager eventually put it in that I was wanting to quit and put in my 2 weeks for me, when I was actually wanting to stay there a little longer. No, I quit. Like, once I found out what was going on, like, I was working almost every day. I was off, like, for a day or a week or something like that. Like, 9-hour shifts. But, after one point, I just didn't have any hours. I'm like, what the heck? I had another job at the time delivering pizza, so I just picked up more hours there until I figured out what was going on. And when I did find out that the manager put it in that I quit, like, there was one day that I tried to clock in and say go to HR. When I went into HR, they said, we thought you quit. I'm like, no, I didn't. Right after this intersection here. Yeah.
You say no, you didn't quit then.
Like, I told them I did not quit, and they asked if I still wanted to work right away.
It's right. This house in the middle with no light on.
I can't see it.
Could have pulled up in the driveway right there.
Well, I gotta keep moving. I got another customer.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Hey, no problem. Oh, self-entitled people. So right here is a situation where I would decline this ride because it is too far away. 18 minutes, I'm not driving that far. Threshold is about 11 minutes. looks lovely. You're gonna get self-entitled people no matter where you go. Like I was complaining I didn't pull in the driveway. In reality, I saw how heavy the traffic was, and I was not willing to back up or anything like that. Just literally pull off to the side of the road. There was plenty of room. In fact, there were cars parked in front of me and behind me. I just pulled into a spot, and the guy got a little aggravated about it. Okay, it's how I want to drive, not you. Gotta keep it within your cable tow. Or within reason. At least I'm heading in the right direction. Heading east towards 75 right now. I'll be heading north in a little bit. Guy reeked too, like, oh my gosh, he smelled really bad. Like fish, like, ugh. That's why my window's still down. Air out the car a little bit, sorry about the wind noise. That's pretty. Yeah, I wish you guys could see what I'm seeing right now. I might upload the video from my dash cam. least I made it to Cincinnati. Not exactly downtown, but definitely Cincinnati. And chances are, they're going to be heading downtown too. Okay. This looks like 25 miles an hour speed limit. Miramar. He looks a little young. Hey, how's it going?
Good.
What's your name?
Kent.
Oh, right. Before we get started, can I see your ID real quick?
Oh, I don't have
You don't?
No.
Well, unfortunately, you look a little young, so I can't give you a ride. I'm sorry. Sorry.
It's alright.
Can you please leave my vehicle?
Yeah.
Thank you. Alright, now at this point, time to wait for the cancellation fee. Well, while I'm waiting, refill my vape tank real quick. So at the 3-minute mark, it's going to prompt me to either text or call. I'll just do the texting and then back out of it, then just cancel and move on. See if Waze is working now. Well, now it's working? Maybe I spoke too soon. Yeah, I did. Set that to go. 20 seconds. The kid is still waiting where I first met him. Probably expecting me to cancel. All right, in a surge area, that's what I like to see. Hooah. I have $5 for that. Next. Seem to be having a lot more luck with Lyft right now than Uber, which is a rarity. Quite often it's the other way around. I think that might have been another Lyft or Uber driver back there. That car looks like it's been in a couple accidents. Not just one, just two at least. The whole side of the car itself was caved in. The back bumper was hanging on by what looked like duct tape. What looks like duct tape. Now, I can understand if you're, like, you know somebody or you're willing to fix it and all that, but something like a bumper or your door and all that, at least try to get it fixed. Unless it's like a very minor cosmetic thing that you can't even see unless you look for it. If you honestly can't afford it, I can understand that. That's a sign of Vine Street I don't really want to be in. Yikes. I don't think this is royalty free, but I'll just keep it down low. Here's a classic case of you drop your pin either where you are or at the place that you're at, like an address, and then you start walking away from it. Please don't do that. Message from most drivers to all passengers. Please do not do that. sketchy as fuck. Unless they're at VFW, then I can understand. That's okay. But it looks like it's closed, so which I've never heard of a VFW being closed right now. Oh, I should be in Mason right now, but no. Gotta be here in bumfuck nowhere to Cincinnati. Yeah, that's about where I am. Got Norwood, Cincinnati, Reading just to the north, Finneytown. Like most of the time I was near Finneytown, like Fairfield, all the way down here. So I started out roughly over here, ended up going this way, all the way down here. Yeah, I need to fix the music. There we go. Alright, should be getting more Uber trips now. So the app says that the person is like literally should be off to my left, but they're not. I know the pickup point's right there. Just logic is thrown out the window sometimes. Where are they going anyway? Newport. So, I mean, if I take them, that's going to take me right where I want to be. So I'll give them a call. Try to figure out what's going on here.
Yeah.
Sorry, brother. I
Alright.
wasn't sure what was going on.
No, the front door's on Linden Street.
It had your like I was going off by your location. Had you like right around the corner.
Yeah, right there on Linden Street, on
Like-
the street right there.
Well, actually, like right here where that tree is.
Oh no, yeah, it's on the ground.
Sorry about that. All right. Please still going to East 3rd Street? Okay. Put your seatbelt on. We'll get started. How's your night going? Oh, not too bad. Just getting the night started, or are you? Right on. Uh-oh, you're in trouble. Sucks to be them. That would look wonderful. I haven't been down here since the flooding happened. I'm actually a little afraid to see what's left. You see anything yet? Like, maybe? Looks like it's all open. River's probably receded by now. Okay, second east. Oh yeah, it's definitely up. Look at that. Jeez, that's scary. Finally fixed this roundabout. That's awesome. Right about here. Can't turn right. Okay. Okay.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Hey, no problem.
Have a good evening.
You as well. Okay, Google. Son of a bitch. I think now's a good time to get gas. Alright guys, so I'm going to end the stream for now. I'm going to take a quick break, get some energy drinks as well as gas, and basically a brief recharge. I will be online again pretty soon. Stay safe, Uber and Lyft on.